Hi guys, welcome to Gary's Football. On this video we're going to be talking about today's game between Arsenal and Tottenham. What a game that was, lads.
Oh mate, what a game. It was proper London derby, plenty of goals, passion, emotion, tackles flying in, crowd making a lot of noise. What an awesome game. One of the best games I've seen for a number of years.
Absolutely. And Lou, it's good to have you back on here.
Yeah.
Obviously filming a reaction video today, which we'll upload later.
Yeah, that'll be fun watching that back.
It hit the ceiling when you jumped out a couple of times.
Yeah, I know. But again, it's one of those games, isn't it? Like when you watch it and you haven't seen that sort of passion and fight for years until this season, and then when it matters against the big teams, like we actually, we turned up today and really put in a shift. So it's hard not to enjoy it. Obviously, there's stressful points, but
well, that was the key test, wasn't it? Because we've had an unbeaten run. And the argument was we've not really played any big teams, and the first two teams, obviously Chelsea, Man City, Chelsea, we lost. Obviously we had a good draw against Liverpool recently, but today was a great test to say this is not a fluke.
Yeah.
This is good momentum, and what a game it was.
Well, yeah, like you say, we started off strong, sort of fell apart, and then came back strong as well. Where typically, we might start strong, lose composure, get torn apart, and then just not recover or not try anything. And that was the one thing I thought was really good about Emery. Like, he really changed the game up with his half-time substitutions. And if I'm honest, I didn't really expect him to make two subs, to commit to that at that early stage. But we never would adapt in that way to try something new and see where it's going wrong. So shows you tactically where he's at, doesn't it?
Well, we'll start off with the first half. So the first 20 minutes, Arsenal just flew out the blocks, didn't they? Were pressing from the front, being tenacious in the tackle, making interceptions, and just pinned Tottenham back, didn't they? Tottenham couldn't get out of their half whatsoever, could they?
No.
And it was like Tottenham was still on the coach or in the changing room. Honestly, they just couldn't get out of their half whatsoever, and it was a rare time where Arsenal started off the first half, the first 20 minutes anyway, on the front foot. They've got in the first half of games they've been very passive, games drifted by, but they really took it to Tottenham and just didn't let them settle whatsoever, and they deserved to take the lead after I think 10 minutes when Aubameyang tucked away a penalty after a needless handball by again for Tottenham, you've got to say.
Would you say that that's just the pressure applied forced him to make a silly mistake? Or do you think it's clumsiness? What would you say?
Clumsiness? I don't know what he was doing. I know it was fairly close to the goal, about 7-8 yards out, but it looked like one of Arsenal's attackers was going to get a head on it, but you got the recent goal, So maybe it might have been the pressure of the situation, because Arsenal were on top at that point. They had a few corners, had a few chances, but he needed to took the stitching out of it, didn't he? That's how blatant it was, and he's an experienced player. Tottenham, isn't he? He's been at the World Cup, So I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, good penalty by Aubameyang. The least Arsenal deserved, you have to say.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running straight away.
And then the silly mistake, wasn't it? We sort of undid a lot of our hard work by kind of sort of giving away a penalty.
Well, before that, it was the goal by Dyer, wasn't it? From the free kick.
Yeah.
So Ericsson. Good free kick near post, but poor marking, you have to say. Dyer had a free header, and Leno, he's been good recently, but I think he could have done better, personally.
I know, what was he doing? Was he washing the dishes before the game or something? That was so slippery. Do you know what I mean? He should have saved that.
Well, he didn't get his ball was up here, and he didn't just move his feet across. It sort of just bounced off him, didn't it? So, slow reactions. 1-1, completely against the run of play, you have to say. But in that 5-minute period after that, you have to say Arsenal's heads completely went, didn't they? Their composure on the balls had completely disappeared, and Tottenham were the one pressing with the pressure, and it looked like every time the ball was played through, they were carving out opportunities, weren't they?
It all seemed to start, didn't it, from after Dyer scored and he went to celebrate down, and then it all sort of kicked off with the subs and the benches and the coaches even as well. It just all kind of went to hell.
But it made it feel like a derby though.
I enjoy.
But then 30 seconds later we gave away the penalty. Like when they put Son through, and then
was that a penalty though?
I can see why he gave it when you watch it in speed, but until we see the replay again, I don't know how much contact there was, but if you're watching the game fast, you could see why the ref would give it because it just looks like he's
I think it was
taken
minimal contact, but I'd be more annoyed if I was at Emery why I was diving in like that. You know, because it was wide of the goal on the left hand side. It wasn't like through on goal about to take a shot. Why dive in and give the opportunity for the ref to make a decision? That's what I'd be more annoyed about, rather than, well, you know, was the contact minimal, whatever. Well, you know, Son's one of those players where if there's a bit of contact, it will go down. I'm not saying he dived, but you know, he gave him the opportunity to, didn't he?
Hopefully he'll learn from this as well. Like, you know, as an inexperienced sort of player, he'll learn in the big games what you can and can't do.
Apart from that, Holding had a good game.
Yeah,
he had a good game. I think all three centre halves for Arsenal had a good game.
And we have to give some credit to Spurs as well, don't we, for like the way they, after that goal, they sort of took a chance that didn't look particularly threatening. They made something out of it, and then they really opened up. They started pressing us, and Son looked dangerous every time he got on the ball.
Yeah, well, they started playing their game, didn't they? They were playing the ball from the back, and Arsenal's intensity wasn't quite there from what it was from the first 20 minutes, was it? So that combined with Tottenham's more composure in the ball, getting more confidence as well. Because sometimes games away from home, hard games like this away from home, you know, you're not always going to have it easy playing the ball out from the back like they like to do. So they managed to get a foothold in the game. Could say against run and play, go 2-1 out, but you know, and then they, up until half time, looked like they were in the ascendancy and possibly could have even taken the further lead.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like you say, coming to half time, in midfield we were weak. You know, we were lacking that strength. So, and again, I have to say, Mkhitaryan, I was thinking, this is 2 games in a row now where he's not really performing.
Well, I'd say the wide players, I don't think Iwobi and Mkhitaryan weren't in the game at all. Iwobi's been good recently for Arsenal. He's been one of their better players, but he had an off day. He had a chance in the first half.
He had a pretty good shot, but could have executed it, didn't. You know,
it was straight at Loris, wasn't it? So like, from that far out, you got to stick it in the corner, haven't you?
We had so many chances, didn't we, early on, and we just didn't convert any. There was a lot of dangerous. It was either cleared off the line or stopped. Or
I instantly thought half time. You know, you've got to bring on Lacazette.
Yeah, you did say in fairness,
and take on Mkhitaryan, and he did. You know, I brought on Ramsey, which I thought was a wise choice.
Yeah, for Iwobi, wasn't it as well? But the start of the second half, again, Tottenham carried on their good form from the end of the first half, like the second half of the first half rather. Yeah. And you know, they were on top. It's one of those where they've got to score now. If they make it 3-1, that's going to be really hard for Arsenal to come back and win. But Tottenham unfortunately didn't create a whole amount of chances. And then up from there, Arsenal grew into the game, and one of the subs, Ramsey, made an impact for Arsenal's second goal, didn't he?
Yeah, brilliant.
What a strike that was from Aubameyang.
Yeah, it was fantastic. The way he took that and bent it right around into the corner.
Well, first time as well. That's the thing about shots like that. He had some defenders around him. Didn't overthink it. Just like first time, and the whip he got on it as well.
Yeah.
It looked like it was gonna go wide, and it just whipped right into the side of the net. And I mean, Lloris didn't even dive. That's how accurate it was. I mean, 2-2. The Emirates was bouncing, wasn't it? You can hear it on the television coverage, and everyone was confident, and it looked like any result was possible from then on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an open game. We grew in confidence, didn't we, at that point? But you never know. It could have gone the other way if we weren't careful.
It was a proper game. You know, unfortunately, you don't see a lot of games like this where it's proper end to end, and you never know what's going to happen next. Some games are pretty predictable, especially when Man City are playing. It's like, well, or like when they play Man United, you knew that City were going to win. Do you know what I mean? It just United offered nothing. So, but both teams were really going for the win. But in the end, Arsenal had more quality in the final third.
Yeah. It was a really. What I particularly liked was the celebrations as well. You know, every time a player celebrated, like you could just see that they were playing for the badge, they were playing for the club. The fans, the way they celebrated, the way that the fans were with them, the way they were in the corners, it was really. I haven't watched a game and felt the players. Obviously, this season we have, but I mean, you know, in previous years, there's not often we could say you've watched a team and you feel like they're really giving 110%, and they really wanted it today. I think it made such a difference.
And it's like the players believe that they know the derby.
Yeah,
You know, you think like in the past you've looked at Arsenal, Tottenham, and you think the players don't understand. You know the rivalry, the kind of the history. But this, there was you could tell there was a hatred there today.
Yeah.
Which is great to see.
And you can see from an Arsenal perspective, they played the situations well today. You know, when it was tough for them, they held out and tried to not make any silly mistakes at the back. Unfortunately, Bellerin at times gave the ball away and made some silly passes. But they played and they held on. You know, you don't always see it. Yeah, I've seen it this season. They've held out, like Bournemouth last week. Arsenal held out when they needed to, but when they did get on top in the game, they did take the chances.
Yeah.
I mean, the third goal, Lacazette.
Brilliant, yeah.
Bit of a deflection off Dyer. I think before then, Tottenham moved to a free at the back. So Dyer, who was playing in midfield, dropped back to make a free. But from then on, whether it was down to tactics or whatever, Tottenham just weren't the same after that.
Yeah.
So a few minutes after they changed formation, Lacazette scores the third goal via a deflection off Eric Dyer. And the ball just span out and kept spinning away from Lloris, didn't it, into the corner. And then 3-2 up, Arsenal were in the ascendancy, and like any scoreline, any number of goals could be scored.
He seemed to sort of make something out of nothing, didn't he? Because you know, like when a player sort of either takes dodgy touch and it just goes away from a little bit. Yeah. It seemed like he sort of almost fell over himself as he stopped it, and then to bring it back and get a shot off, and like you say,
he fell over as he slipped as he shot, but like the ball was played through. I think it was by Ramsey.
It was,
it was on the right hand side, and it looked like the chance had gone. A couple of the Tottenham defenders were back in. You thought, what is he? Is he going to pass? Is he? Is his shot going to get blocked? Is he left it too late? And as you say, Lou, he made something out of nothing. All right, deflection, but he's a goal scorer, isn't he? He's going to shoot. So
And it symbolises a great partnership up front. So
yeah, I think it showed that Aubameyang and Lacazette can play as two.
Yeah, 100%.
And Ramsey's contribution, he was featured in most of the goals.
Yeah, his energy and his running deep. He's running from midfield. I mean, he was barely picked up by Tottenham whatsoever today. So
coming at the right time, definitely to make an impact. And I've got to say as well, especially not just today, but throughout the season, what a bargain Torreira's been for us.
Oh yeah, monster.
Well, he's man of the match by an absolute mile, wasn't he?
He's the lion of the squad.
Yeah.
And then he scored his first goal.
Yeah, he deserved. And that was great. Like how much passion he had when he scored. He really meant something, But
it was good play because you don't necessarily associate Torreira with finesse and finishing.
R1 circle.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of FIFA, wasn't it? R1 circle right into the corner. But like, it was good. It was good. Like, he made a good run, didn't he? He was played through, and you think, is he gonna, pass it across the box, or is he just gonna absolutely blast it? Just nice pass into the corner, as if he does it all the time.
Yeah.
So that just summed up his all-round play, his energy, his tackling, and his determination. I mean, he's only like 22 as well. He's someone so young to basically dominate. It's his first North London derby as well.
Yeah.
Sensational it was.
I was shocked when I found out he was 22. I thought he was 23. But it's so good to see someone of so talented at 22, and you think he's already a beast at the moment.
Yeah.
And he's got so many years ahead of him. It's exciting times now.
We haven't had that sort of bite in midfield for years, have we? Like when we lost people like
Gilberto.
Yeah, Gilberto and Vieira and all those kind of real steel in midfield, and we've sort of lacked that for more finesse players. But as soon as you add that backbone back into the team, the way he commands things, the way he's quick on his feet, and I actually think Guendouzi's going to become a really good player as well. Because every time he comes on, I love the way that he commits to balls. He chases down, he puts pressure, and the way his passes. He always looks for inventive passes forward, and they've always got this sort of curve to them. I mean, the way he passes them, they sort of bend to the other players every time.
It's in front of. There's nothing worse than having a ball behind you or something, or even just straight at you.
And then he sprints,
But I think from a Tottenham perspective, they started off terribly the first 20 minutes. I know Arsenal played great and made them play poorly, but they were terrible first 20 minutes. They got into it, latter period of the first half and the start of the second half, but I think they're just very flat today. They've had some really tough games. They played Chelsea last Saturday. They had a really tough game midweek against Inter Milan. They won, but it was a game that went right to the end. think they're just a bit flat today. I think
Yeah.
they ran out of energy, and you have to say the big players. I know Kane scored a penalty, but it was anonymous, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Son was hardly in it. Dele Alli was hardly in it. Eriksen had a few flashes, but
Dyer had a lot of mistakes today, didn't he? The Torreira's goal, didn't he misjudge it, and Torreira just got past him
yeah.
and things like that. He made a few mistakes.
I think the deflection was not his fault, but
Yeah.
but I think that's probably maybe the formation might have what played into Arsenal's hands, to be honest with you.
Do you think it's interesting seeing this day and age though, like when you're watching two youngish managers, relatively young in terms of what they're doing, the way they make these changes in the game, like you can physically see the game change when they make these things. It's interesting from a fan's fan's perspective, see how much it's changed.
And when he was looking at Wenger back in the day, everything was predictable. You know, you wouldn't have a substitute till the 75th minute,
and he'd bring a defender on instead of your striker.
You know, which back in the day, you know, when Arsenal had the glory years, you can't knock his style of management because it stood out. But now, you got to go with the times, and I think it's that generation where, I'd keep Emery all day long.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, so he's really. And actually, speaking of him, I just love seeing him jump up and down the touchline.
Yeah,
I love seeing him scream
gets so
and shout
animated on the touchline.
Yeah.
Barking instructions.
You imagine
as
you're
well.
like you're 2-1 down after you've been up and tearing the game, and you look over at your manager and he's sitting down with sort of arms folded. What does that signal? Whereas if you've got your manager is up and he's commanding and he's thinking.
Well, also making 2 subs at half time.
Brave, yeah. Because we spoke about that, didn't we? And I didn't think he was going to make a change, and you said, he should make a change.
Off you come, son.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to. And he doesn't care about ego. You know, and that's what you need in this day and age. It's too nicey. You've got to be the boss.
And they've got a lot of chemistry, though, the players, haven't they? You see that when they finish, like game ends, or they seem like they've got genuine friendship. And
I think that has been the case. They've probably been too friendly towards each other. There's been no bite or telling ordering people what to do, but the manager's doing that. So fair play to him. But I think I just want to talk about Tottenham's team selection. I was a bit surprised today about a couple of selections about Pochettino. Maybe it was to do with the big games they've had recently. I don't know, but playing Foyth, the centre half, the young centre half. That's the first time he's played alongside Vertonghen in I think the Premier League, their first partnership. I mean, what a game to have that in.
Yeah.
North London, their first time they played together. I found that a bit strange. I mean, he was a bit erratic, the youngster, against Wolves, gave away 2 penalties, I think it was. And then he's playing in this game. He got Alderweireld on the bench. I mean, that for me, that didn't make a lot of sense.
I'm not complaining.
And we're talking about the whole game, aren't we? We're talking about both teams in this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he didn't play. And
the ironic thing being the more experienced player was the one that made the more mistakes and got sent off.
Yeah,
you'd think the youngster would, wouldn't you?
Well, I think they were both.
Yeah, they're
both at sea today, and I think not even Trippier right back as well. I think that was, unless he's injured, I have to check. But I think Ore was a bit erratic today as well. So apart from that, I think it was a strong team by Tottenham, but they weren't at it at all.
Yeah,
really, a bit flashes here or there, but you have to say Arsenal thoroughly deserved it. You have to say on the balance of play.
Yeah, a good derby.
Yeah, brilliant. Had everything, didn't it? Action, passion, goals,
sending
offs.
Yeah.
No, amazing game. So, that's 19 unbeaten for Arsenal.
19 now, and it's currently put Arsenal above Tottenham in the league. So now in the top 4, Tottenham are now 5th. Obviously that can all change, but look forward to the next game.
Man United.
Yeah, and let's hope they don't end the streak like last time. But anyway, people, thanks for watching this. Please subscribe and follow us on Twitter. We're at @garage_football. Thank you.
See ya.